Deadscape Diaries, where the shadows stretch a little longer and the silence always has something to say. Tonight's story begins the way many do, with pain, a mental collapse, a life unraveling at the seams. Our narrator did what most people are told to do. They sought help. They found a therapist, a calm, quiet man who listened, who asked the right questions, who never judged. But healing isn't always what it seems, because sometimes the hand that reaches out to help is only making sure you can't pull away. As the sessions unfold, something begins to shift. It's not loud, not obvious, just off. A toothbrush moved, a mat disturbed, a dream remembered too precisely. And the worst part, no one believes you when it's subtle. No one listens when the threat isn't a scream, but a whisper. What if the invasion of your life doesn't come from a stranger, but from someone who already knows the layout of your mind? This is a story of a psychological erosion, of trust manipulated, of boundaries tested, not with violence, but with permission. It's not about what broke you, it's about who was there when you were already broken. Tonight's story is called The Compliance Cycle. Let's begin. I'm writing this down because I need something real in front of me. Something that'll still be here in the morning, even if I'm not. I don't know what to call this, a confession, a case file, a breadcrumb trail for whoever finds the door unlocked. Maybe it's just a lifeline I'm throwing myself. Something to prove I'm still me, still here. Because that's the first thing you lose. Not your body, not your home, not even your sense of safety. You lose your certainty. I started seeing Dr. Halbrook about 8 months ago, after I had what my GP continuously labeled a reactive collapse. Translation, I fell apart at work, in front of everyone, and couldn't put myself back together. He came highly recommended by my manager, who'd been through something similar, said Halbrook was unconventionally effective. That should have tipped me off, but back then I wasn't looking for answers. I was looking for relief. His office was in this conventional townhouse in Victoria Park, the kind of place that tries to look residential, but you can tell no one's lived there in years. It had a thick maroon carpet, windows covered in gauzy curtains, and walls lined with books in dead languages. The air smelled like vetiver and candle wax, like someone had tried to mask the smell of mildew with something worse. He had an academic look, tall, early 50s, maybe. Always in charcoal suits, no tie, glasses that didn't quite fit his face. His voice had a low-frequency calmness to it, like he was trying not to wake something sleeping nearby. Our sessions were quiet. He never gave advice, never said things like, "That must be hard," or "Tell me more." He just listened. Sometimes he'd tilt his head, or blink slowly like he was syncing up with me. It was weird, but it worked. For the first time in years, I felt heard, not fixed, but heard. Then came the 7th session. That number sticks with me. 7. End of the first month. I just opened up about a recurring dream, the one where I wake up to find every photo in my apartment replaced with pictures of me sleeping. I remember Halbrook looking thoughtful. He said, it's remarkable how many people give away copies of their keys without remembering they did. I laughed, confused. You mean like losing them? No, he said. Like trusting someone enough to forget they ever needed to ask. Then he smiled, just barely. I brushed it off, a weird philosophical thing maybe, but something about it settled under my skin and stayed there. The next day I noticed my bathroom mat was damp, not soaked, just used, like someone had stepped out of the shower and didn't bother drying off. I live alone. At first I blamed myself, sleepwalking, bad memory, but then came more. The chain on the door was unlatched one night when I came home. My desktop wallpaper changed to an older photo I swear I deleted. My freezer, not the fridge, the freezer was open an inch and quietly dripping. Nothing loud, nothing stolen, just rearranged. I didn't tell Halbrook. I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to catch it. So I set traps. A strip of masking tape across the closet door, salt across the windowsills. I set up webcams to record while I was gone, but the footage would glitch. Just static between 2:04 and 2:17 p.m. every Tuesday. Same exact timestamp, every week. I bought a new lock, then a second one, then a chain, then a bar. The next time I showed up at his office, Halbrook opened the door before I knocked. and said, "The new security measures, do they help you sleep?" I didn't answer. I just sat down, shaking. He never acknowledged the comment again, just asked me to breathe with him. That night I didn't go home. I checked into a hotel room under a fake name, paid in cash, turned my phone off, and still, the next morning, the concierge handed me a sealed envelope left by a visitor. Inside was a sealed item, my old apartment key, bent at the tip like something had forced it into a lock that didn't fit. No note, just a faint scorched fingerprint on the envelope flap. I ghosted therapy, blocked Hal Brooks' number, left my job, moved to Fremantle. Not just a new address, a whole new routine. Used prepaid cards, bought secondhand furniture, didn't tell anyone where I was going, not even my family. 3 months passed, nothing happened. Then one morning, a knock. Not at the door, at the window. Second floor, no fire escapes. I didn't answer. A week later there was a package on my doormat, no label. Inside, a USB drive. I plugged it into an old laptop I don't use for anything else. It contained only one file, a video. I pressed play. It was footage of me sleeping in my new bedroom. The angle was from above, like from a ceiling corner. I could see the blankets rising and falling with my breath. At the 43-second mark, the image jolted. A figure stepped into frame, not clearly, just a silhouette of a man, tall, straight-backed, watching me, breathing in time with mine. He didn't move, just stood there, like he was timing something. When I paused the video, the timestamp said Session 12, final phase initiated. I ran, again. Airbnb this time, middle of nowhere. No names, no records. And still, tonight, tucked under the door of the room I hadn't left in days, I found a folded page, torn from one of my old journals. One I left behind, my handwriting at the top, in shaky, red ink. Assessment complete. Host adaptation, 96%. Resistance, minimal. Prepared for phase 3. Beneath it, in a different hand, finer, more careful, almost surgical. Thank you for your cooperation. You may now return to baseline. But I never wrote that. And as I finished typing this, I just heard it again. Not footsteps, not knocking, a click, the deadbolt, turning from the outside. And so the story ends, not with a bang, but with a turning key. It's easy to think horror lives in the dark, in the creaking hallway, in the blood-stained floor, but sometimes it wears soft eyes, speaks gently, and helps you unpack your childhood trauma. Sometimes the monster is the one who patiently waits until you say the words, "I trust you." And then they don't have to take anything, because you've already given it. If this story unsettled you, let it. That's what we're here for. At Deadscape Diaries, we don't just explore horror. We unearth the quiet, creepy things that linger behind normalcy. The fears that don't scream, they settle in, quietly, until they feel like home. If you want more stories like this, more entries from the edges of reason, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a tale that might feel just a little too familiar. Remember, if someone ever tells you it's just a joke, and they're watching too closely when they say it, it probably isn't. Until next time, stay hidden, stay careful, and never, ever leave a spare key behind.